beautiful bookish friends, I'm Bowen and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a very snowy reading vlog. We have the first snow of the season. It is officially here. Oh my god, this is so pretty. I woke up this morning to the first snow of the season. Now, it is technically the middle of November. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to film this video until at least February, but the snow seems to have hit us really early this winter, and I thought that that was just the sign that I needed to pick up all of the snowed-in romance books that I have. I have 4 of them here. We have Stranded with the Kraken by Zoe Ashwood. This one is a little Christmassy as well. I don't know what about it makes it Christmassy, but there's Christmas trees on the cover, so I'm assuming it's Christmassy. We have Surprise Scott by Donna Allen. We have 3 Swedish Mountain Men, which is a Why Choose snowed-in romance. Then we have The Abominable Snowman by Lana Cole and Zoe Abrams. I don't know whether this one counts as being a snowed-in romance, but it feels like it's the same sort of vibes as the rest of them. So these are the 4 books that I'm going to be reading in this video. My brother also came around the other day and got the Christmas decorations out the loft for me, so we're going to be putting the Christmas decorations up. It's currently mid-November, so it is still technically a little bit early, but we have the first snow, so winter is now officially begun, which is surprising because it has been unseasonably warm lately, but we got our first snow, and it's still snowing. But this is our TBR for this video. I don't know which one of these I'm going to pick up first. I'm probably going to pick up Surprise Scott first. I feel like this is the one I've been in the mood for a hot minute, but it just felt too warm for a snowed-in romance. But not anymore. But I'll check back in with you in a bit and let you know which one I choose. See, this is one thing I love about my house. Shit looks like fucking Narnia. I gotta film this clip pretty quickly because I'm rapidly losing the light. Because, you know, it's winter and shit, so it gets dark at like 4 PM here. But I started Surprise Scott. I'm maybe 100 pages into it at this point. It's about 250 pages total, so I'm like 40% of the way through. And this book follows Greg and Izzy. And Izzy is going up to Scotland for a friend's wedding, and she booked this little remote cabin, but when she gets to the remote cabin, she's exhausted after the long-ass drive from London, and after doing a long-ass drive from the Midlands to Scotland, I can tell you, the fact that she just went to bed and collapsed makes perfect fucking sense to me. So she doesn't actually realise that she's collapsed into bed with Greg until the next morning when they wake up together. Because it's the next morning and the snowstorms hit overnight, they are now both snowed into this cottage together. Greg in this one thinks he's now hit the jackpot because he wakes up with a gorgeous woman in his bed and he's just kind of teasing her a little bit. Like, he pretty much just solely has one thing on his mind. And Izzy, there's just something about her that really gets on my nerves. I can't even really explain what it is. I get the oversharing when you're nervous, but giving her whole love life story to someone whose name that she doesn't even know, that she's woke up in bed with, that she didn't realise was there when she went to sleep, just feels like a little bit unhinged. Like, she doesn't really know anything about this person. She doesn't know his name, obviously, because they've literally just met. She doesn't know anything about him, and now they're snowed into this cabin together. And she doesn't really make that much of an effort to get to know him. She's trying to compartmentalise the fact that he is hot because she just assumes that he wouldn't be interested in her because sex has never really been good for her anyway. And he thinks he's hit the jackpot because he wakes up with this gorgeous woman in his bed and he's just having the time of his life, just teasing her a little bit. Like, her brain is running her mouth at a mile a minute, and not in like a cute, endearing way, in the way that's actually really kind of fucking annoying. I mean, Greg doesn't really have a lot of depth to him 40% of the way through. He honestly just wants to get his dick wet, apparently. Like, he's not a total creep, but even in his chapters, that is the only thing that he is thinking about. Like, neither of them are thinking about the logistics of the fact that they're snowed in together, or the fact that she can't get to her car, and her phone battery's dead, and the fact that she has to go to a wedding in a few days. Like, no one's actually thinking about the logistics of it. And that's just kind of getting on my nerves. And maybe it's just me, but I feel like because she woke up in bed with a strange man, that she should be the one that's thinking about all of the logistics of getting out of there and everything. Because as a woman, you know that, like, even the charming ones can put your safety at risk. So the fact that she has no sense of fucking danger about the fact that she's snowed in with this person that she's never fucking met before is sort of bothering me. Like, I'm sure it's going to endear me to him in the last 60% of it, but the fact that she has no self-awareness of danger is just kind of getting on my nerves right now. I'm going to continue reading this. Hopefully I'll finish it today, But honestly, it's just the sheer lack of stranger danger for me. So I am not quite done with Surprise Scott yet. I've only got like maybe 40 pages left-ish. But I've worked out what it is about Izzy that drives me fucking insane. And it's that she's basically the victim of her own circumstance. You know when someone starts playing the victim and they're all very, oh, woe is me. And it's just, shut the fuck up. Like, she's crying over her sad, pathetic love life, but she's not really doing anything about it. She's just complaining. And it's just kind of getting on my fucking nerves. I mean, at least with Greg, he is, yes, 2D. He thinks about pretty much nothing other than getting this woman naked as much as humanly possible. And there's no real depth to him. But at least because of that, you know what you're getting. I'm just after the third act breakup at this point, and I cannot express how much I do not root for this couple. I don't. I don't want them to end up together. I want it to be like a nice memory that they both had, but drop it, leave it alone, move on with your lives. And another reason that Izzy is really, really pissing me off with that is because he has given his reason for not wanting to do long distance, right? And it's a perfectly valid reason. He doesn't want to be in a relationship with her for this perfectly valid reason. And she keeps pestering him about it. I'll get you to say yes to me. And it's like, you know, when the creep at the bar does not get the fucking hint and he just will not leave you alone, even though you've actively told him, no, I'm not interested multiple times. That's what Izzy's kind of doing. She's there like, I don't care how many times you say, no, you don't want to be in a relationship with me for this perfectly valid reason that he's given, I will wear you down. It's creepy, hun. What the fuck are you doing? It reeks of desperation. And he's already said no. Take the no and move on. And I know exactly how this book is going to end, and it's going to piss me off. Because the way that I already know it's going to end, the last 40 pages, it's going to be, one, so predictable, but two, it feels cheap. Because the way that it should end is that she did genuinely leave him alone. She did genuinely try and move on, but he is the one that can't stop thinking about her, and he is the one that goes to her. That is not how it's going to end. I can guarantee it. I'm not even at the end yet, but I can guarantee that is what is going to happen. And it's going to piss me all the way the fuck off. She just goes from being all woe is me about her love life to being his little Duracell bunny. And I don't have a problem with sex in books. I love sex in books. I mean, get yours, go off, I don't care. But she seems to not understand the difference between sex and love. This is her first time having, like, good sex. And apparently that means that she now wants to form a relationship with this person. Because they're the same. At 33... you should know that sex and love are not the same thing. And quite frankly, she makes me want to bash her over the fucking head with something. She's just driving me a little bit balmy. Because there's not really anything between them other than sexual chemistry. Like, there's a physical connection between them. Yeah, sure, I will buy that. But they don't know each other. We don't really know anything about them. And one smutty weekend does not a relationship make. I just do not root for these characters. I will let you know when I get to the end whether or not I was actually right, but I'm gonna be actually right. I can guarantee it. I finished Surprise Scott, and I was right. I was exactly right at the ending. I'm not shocked even one little bit. I gave it a 1.5. I'm really, really disappointed in this one, to be honest. I really wanted to love it. Now, it's been about 4-ish years since I read a Donna Allen book, but I really remember loving them way more than I liked this. This is probably one of my least favourite books from her. So unfortunately, this one was kind of a miss for me. But I have also started and finished Stranded with the Kraken. I was going to start this last night and then give you like a mid-book update. It's 100 pages. I don't know why I thought I wasn't going to finish this in one sitting. I absolutely finished it in one sitting. This book follows Aralee and Jasper is a kraken and Aralee is a human, and they basically meet for a hookup on this app that's essentially like Tinder, but it's called Bone-R, which, okay, sure. And it was really short, really smutty, but it was like Tinder date to fated mates. There wasn't really a lot to it. It's like a 3.75. The reason there's Christmas trees on the cover is because they get snowed in over Christmas, and like she makes the decision to stay, but like it's not really safe for her to leave. So she just stays and hooks up with the hot kraken that happens to be her fated mate. But like the second day, not even the second day, within 24 hours they're talking about like having kids, and he wants to throw away her birth control. And that kind of creeped me out. Wasn't a big fan of that one. And I get that a lot of monster romances have some form of breeding kink in them. But can you give it more than a day? Like, please, because that was... no. Wasn't a fan of that. And because we read a book that is sort of set over Christmas, I feel like today is the day that the Christmas decorations are going to go up. Because it's been Black Friday, I've been ordering Christmas presents, and I need a tree to put them under. So, this is going to be my Christmas decoration montage.
Snow is falling through the night. Oh my darling, if you don't say goodbye, we'll build a castle made of ice. Better yet, we'll keep warm and dry and stay inside. Either way, all I want is you. It doesn't much matter what we do on this winter holiday. A carriage ride or cartoons, you know I won't complain as long as I'm here next to you on this winter holiday. Trees are wrapped up, Christmas lights. We'll grab a blanket and I'll hold you tight. Well, I caught that glance toward the mistletoe. This birchwood fire's been dying slow, so let's kiss to keep from getting cold. Let's dance in our socks to the jingle bell rock. Oh, either way, all I want is you. Doesn't much matter what we do on this winter holiday. A carriage ride or cartoons, you know I won't complain as long as I'm here next to you on this winter holiday. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Snow is falling through the night. Maybe everyone's still sleeping, 'cause there's not a soul inside. No, either way, all I want is you. Doesn't much matter what we do on this winter holiday. Carriage ride or cartoons, you know I won't complain as long as I'm here next to you on this winter holiday. As long as I'm here next to you on this winter holiday. As long as I'm here next to you on this winter holiday.
I am having a day. I am in pain. So this weird ass fucking angle is what we're getting, because I'm not getting off the sofa for anything at this point. But lying here, I have got through about half of this. We're going to ignore the sticker. It is actually a sticker on the bright side, but like I tried to get it off and clearly I failed. But I'm about halfway through this at the minute and it's not bad. It's somewhat enjoyable. I should be enjoying it a lot more than I actually am, considering how much of a sweet cinnamon roll our male main character is and how much I love that. I don't know whether or not it's just because I am a cranky ass bitch today that I'm not enjoying this as much as I want to. But this book follows our abominable snowman shifter, apparently. His name is Soren, and then we've got Sage, who is a photojournalist, and she's just come up to the mountains for like a retreat just because she quit her job. So she's just trying to get away and like regroup before she finds out what to do, because she quit her job without having another one lined up. But on her way up to the mountains, she crashes her rental car, and then she ends up walking in the snow, about near freezing to death, and ends up across Soren's cabin. He's out looking for her because he saw her crash in his snowman form. I'm calling it his snowman form. It's referred to as his abdominal form, but I feel like I'm saying it wrong. So I'm just going to call it his snowman form. It doesn't look like a snowman at all. It's more like a big yeti. But can shift between that and human, and when she sees him out for a run on the road in his abdominal snowman form, she runs the car off the road. So then she has to hike to try and find out where she was originally staying. But she about near freezes to death when she comes upon his cabin. She goes into his cabin, falls asleep next to the sofa, and he ends up taking care of her and keeping her warm. And he's actually very, very sweet. I like Soren because he is just kind of shy and awkward and a little lonely, but he's just nice. I'm not sure how I feel about Sage at this point. I feel like there's something coming where she's going to tell someone about his other form and shit's gonna hit the fan, and I'm really, really nervous about that because I really don't want that to happen. But I really like Soren because he's just like awkward and shy and lonely, and he's actually really sweet. So I do like him. I just don't know how I feel about her yet. And it says this is Monster Dog Vacation Book 1. I don't know whether or not they've not announced Book 2, whether Book 2 is by a different author. I've tried to Google it. I've tried to look on Goodreads. I don't actually know if there is any more books in this quote-unquote series. I would imagine it's a series because it says Book 1. And there is a 1 on the spine. But, like, surely we would know if there is more than one book. And I also love the dedication in this. It says, for all the people who didn't think they'd be into this kind of thing. I already know I'm into this kind of thing, so it's fine. It's fine. See, that's just confusing. Because in the back of the book, it says, like, other works by this author. And it's got standalones. Feline Good, The Abominable Snowman, and Seasonal Spice and Everything Nice. So this is a standalone. So why does it have a 1 on the spine and say Book 1? I'm so confused. I don't get it. The only thing I can think is, like, Book 2 is written by a different author. But then this wouldn't be marked as a standalone. I'm so confused. I am just going to lie here with my blanket with sleeves. I don't know what the name of this is called because my brain has ceased to work, and continue reading this. And I will check back in when I have more than likely finished this book, and hopefully when I don't feel as absolutely shit as I currently do. I'm having a pity party. On the bright side, I'm feeling a lot better today. On the downside, I don't know what I feel about this book. I feel like I read this book completely at the wrong time because of how cranky and in pain I was when I read it. So I don't know whether or not my lack of enjoyment with this book and my lack of connection to this book was the book's problem or me problem. Now, chances are it's a me problem. If I read this at a different time, there's a high probability that I probably would have enjoyed it. But when I was reading it when I was cranky and irritable and, like, the world could go fuck itself kind of situation, I thought it was just okay, but I didn't really connect to it. On the bright side, Sage didn't do the thing that I was worried that she would do, but it's one of those ones that once I closed the last page, I completely erased it from my brain. Not, like, on purpose, it's just that my brain wasn't absorbing anything when I was in pain. Technically, I did read this, and I did somewhat enjoy it. I just didn't engage or connect with it, really. And I'm fairly certain that was a me problem and not the book problem. I think if I reread it, I would enjoy it a lot more. But I just picked this up on a day when I wasn't in the space to be enjoying anything because of the massive pity party I was throwing myself. So that's not the book's fault. I did also start 3 Swedish Mountain Men. And when I say start, I'm probably about 2/3 of the way through it at this point. It's funny that both of these kind of start with some form of car accident, though. This is why I don't like driving in the snow. Because shit like this happens. I mean, if it ended with shit like this, I don't think I'd be too mad about it. but car accidents, not a good thing. This is my third Lily Gold book. I've read Faking with Benefits and Nanny for the Neighbours, and now this one. And she kind of has the same format for all of her books, which is why I kind of tend to read them quite far apart, so it doesn't kind of get repetitive. But she does have 3 guys, 1 girl, 1 grumpy one, 1 shy one, and 1 flirty one. This book follows Daisy, hence the daisies on the cover, and she takes a trip up to Sweden after her boyfriend basically runs her out of town after humiliating her online, and she's getting loads of shit for it. Like, her parents won't speak to her, she's been fired from her job, she's fully been run out of town. And yet this narcissistic asshole keeps messaging her because he wants her back, but she basically flees the country to get away from it. And she ends up running into these 3 guys after she gets run off the road by a moose. And she ends up staying with all 3 of them and having lots and lots of fun times. We have Eli, we have Cole, and we have Riven. Riven is a doctor, Cole is a ranger, and Eli is a ski instructor. And I really enjoy Lily Gold's books, I really do. I get that they all basically follow the same formula, but it's a formula that kind of works. So as long as you don't read her books, like, all together, then I don't see the harm in following the same formula. I mean, Annie Hazelwood does the exact same thing. She always tends to follow the same formula. But as long as you don't read all of her books back to back, then I don't think it's a problem. She's currently hiding what happened with her ex and why she is in this country from these 3 guys. That last clip actually really rudely cut me off. So what I was saying is it pretty much has the same formula. I have now finished this book. And honestly, I think this is probably my least favourite of Lily Gold's books. Not that it's bad in any way, it's just, it feels so much like Faking with Benefits that it feels like I've read it before. Like, it wasn't bad, I gave it a 3.75, but it just feels like I've read it before. But honestly, I really did still enjoy it. The order that I think I'm going to give them is this. So my favourite one was Stranded with the Kraken, even though it was very fast, very insta-love, but I gave both Stranded with the Kraken and 3 Swedish Mountain Men 3.75 stars. And then I gave The Abominable Snowman a 3.5 just because I wasn't in the space to read this when I read it because I was a cranky bitch. And sometimes that affects my enjoyment of reading. And then my least favourite was Surprise Scott, which I gave a 1.5. I can't actually get over how disappointed I was with this one. Now that the snow has melted, we have come to the end of this video. So if you managed to get this far into the video, then leave a snowflake emoji in the comments down below. But for now, thank you so much for stopping by. It has been lovely having you here. And I hope to see you in another video coming very soon. Bye.